Hey, good evening, everybody. Here is my video watch list, excuse me, for May 12th. It's fair size again. A lot of these are just watches. Again, this will most likely be my last day for lower price stocks. I'm starting to see that they're not running, so I'll give it till tomorrow because I usually don't play these. I'll usually play in the $3 and above range. But like I said, tomorrow will be my last day for the lower price stocks. So okay, let's get into it. RNN had a really nice run up here. I believe it's up on lower than expected losses, so it's up. It's an earnings win. A recent reverse split as well. So I do like this for a continuation. It's right at that breakout level here. So if we can get over 4, I'm expecting a really nice run. It's over all of its moving averages. So really pleased to see, excited to see what this can do for us tomorrow. Let me get rid of this here. Sorry. Okay, and these are in no particular order as well. Any ANY. It's starting to lift off the bottom here on the daily. Yeah, it's a really low price stock. I did look up the news. One sec here. It is up on news. Yeah, reported earnings as well. Lower than expected loss. So regardless, it is an earnings win. It closed right out at its 50 SMA, so that's good. And there's lots of room for it to run up to the 200. There's a little bit of resistance in the 40s, but I mean from here, I mean that's 100% move. So for the guys that don't like to play these lower price stocks, you don't need to have a lot of shares in them to really do some good. And it seems to have found a bottom finally, because it is a real beaten down piece of garbage. But it seems to have found a bottom in the 20s. So you're only risking a few cents to potentially make 100% of your money back plus. So it's a good risk reward trade. WAC. This was a nice continuation that I had on my watch list. Although I did miss the initial run up this morning, it started to ramp up into the close. It sold off a bit, but it held VWAP all day. That's where I got scared out. But if you watch the video, I detailed it. But I will be watching it for a continuation because there's lots of room to run here. Big gap fill potential, as well as next moving average is up at the $4 range. So we're looking for a huge run on this. I really wanted to get in. I got in way too high, but I was looking to actually swing this. But I figured this was going to dump. I got faked out. But looking for a real big move on this. So yeah, I'll be watching it. SSH. Finally getting some action out of this. This is a massive former runner. So it likes to spike up and then give back all of its gains. But if we can get a run up that is during market hours, it might be good. It's worth a watch. Around 1:30 p.m., it had a nice run up. There is news out on this. One of their devices was approved in Japan. So it's definitely worth a watch. It's got a good catalyst. I did read the report. It sounded pretty decent, not too fluffy. Nice low price. So next order of resistance, is in over the dollar range, and then into these moving averages. But tomorrow being Friday, I'm not expecting too much follow through. There was really shitty follow through today. So yeah. CYRX, now you can tell this trade's extremely thin. So this is more of, it would be a small share size, possible swing trade. But you can see on the daily here, it's already kind of come up. But it is doing a gap fill thing. All I would be expecting to see is in the 350 range. So Could throw a bunch of shares at it and make a little bit of cash at this one if we can get a nice red to green or a good buy-in point for tomorrow morning. NVAX. This has been doing really well lately. We had a big run up here the other day, and then it kind of gave it back. I think it just got ahead of itself. Had a doji and then a continuation candle today. So I'm looking more for the dollar break. If this can break a dollar, could get a good, 25, 30 cents out of it, 30%. So that would be great. It did close strong, so it's definitely worth a watch for tomorrow. SNAK closed really strong. I do like the daily chart here, although that it's been on a big down run. It seems to have bottomed out and put in a lower high finally. Because all of these are just lows and then lows. It spikes up and then comes lower. This is kind of pushed through that. So if it can kind of hold this $4 range, it's definitely worth a watch. We got the 200 SMA at 420, so it depends if we can get some volume coming in. It's fairly low volume right now, but volume can do wonders. PED, watching this, again, recent reverse split, had some nice moves on it. It definitely sold off today. It was on the watch list today for a continuation. I think it just got ahead of itself. If you were quick, you could have got a piece of it. A good 30 cents a play there. Like I said, if you were quick and then sold out at resistance here. These purple lines, purple is for pre-market. That's from my intraday chart being laid out. Those were pre-market highs. Basically, pre-market high here and then tapped out and then pulled back. But it would have been a nice winner right from the watch list if you were quick. CYCC had some action late day. It's got a catalyst. Had some action and then pulled back. So it's worth a watch. I believe this is a Chinese stock as well. I don't like playing them, but it has had a recent run up and it's starting to lift off of its moving averages and support. We'll see. If you look right here, it started kind of doing the same thing a week ago or so. It started lifting off and kind of faked us out. But we'll see if we can get over 550 and into the 6. If we can get over this area especially, we could have a nice little run up. If we had some volume come in, I mean, it would be great. Absolutely no volume in this today, so be careful. I would not be swing trading this whatsoever. Get in, get out. AMTX was on the watch list from yesterday. It didn't do fuck all. They had a nice contract win. Completely sold off from this run up right at the end of the day yesterday. Sold off. Finally pushed through VWAP there late day at around 2:30. So maybe the news is starting to hit. We'll see. It is a pretty decent contract win for a small company. It's a $6 million contract winner on some biodiesel fuel. It's nothing crazy, but it is worth a watch. If we can get some volume coming in, again, it would probably be pretty good. But we'll have to watch out for this moving average, the 200 SMA. So a break of 150 would be great. So basically, I'm looking for a break of yesterday's highs would be wonderful. But so yeah, we will see. That's kind of what I was hoping this would do, would be gap up over the 200 SMA and then push higher. And then the only form of resistance that would have been in the way would have been yesterday's high. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I know these are really low priced and they're not everyone's cup of tea. They're really not mine either, but they seem to be pretty hot right now. So today is basically the last day for a watch list of the lower priced. And if there are some that are lower priced, I'm going to do 2 separate watch lists because I know a lot of guys don't like playing these. I really don't either, but they're hot. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys, and like and subscribe and share. Thanks, guys.